Hey, Lo, and where do you stand on that MVP thing, though? Where do you stand on that right now?
Jokic is still number one. But then Giannis, I think
Giannis, what you saying?
Yeah, I'm not making an assessment. We played on nearly 80 games. I'm not making an assessment because of 3-game sample size.
What? Bro, we made assessments in the past.
That's y'all in the past. That's not
that. We don't have to keep making the
same mistakes. We don't have to keep making the same mistakes y'all made.
So it literally doesn't come down to. So let me ask you a question. If Giannis and them get the first seed by like 5, 6, 7 games, that's not going to change your mind?
Yeah, that just means Boston fell off.
Come on, Boston fell off. I'm saying if they winning games and smoking dudes like they've been doing, and then let's say he goes and smokes Jokic in Denver. What are you gonna say?
The Jokic thing doesn't really matter to me. Y'all make assessments based off of like these matchups when we have like 82.
No, I'm not talking about matchups. I'm saying as of right now, I'm saying where they're at. If Giannis continues to dominate the way he's been doing, and then he goes in and smokes Jokic to finish the debate, what are you gonna say then?
What is Jokic doing in that same time frame?
Getting smoked and losing the game like he always do.
Oh well, you can't say always when he has the second or third best record in the league. Yeah, but if Jokic and them continues to win and they finish off with, I think they're on pace to win like 54, 55 games. No, I'm gonna say Jokic.
So Ticket,
the defense don't bother you either. The defense don't bother you either. Hello.
No, it didn't bother me for Jokic. It didn't bother me last year. It didn't bother me for Dirk. It didn't bother me for Steve Nash. It didn't bother you either for Magic Johnson. It didn't bother many of you all for several other players.
No. I'm saying when you have
Barkley in '93.
No. I'm saying when you have it. No. Come on. I'm saying when you have it. Hands down. Player that's elite on both sides that's better than this dude in the league.
Was Michael Jordan not better?
No, I said that. Come on. I said that I thought Jordan should have won the MVP every year. I said that.
Okay, so I'm happy that we're making the adjustment now. We can actually.
I'm not making the adjustment. Come on. I said no. I said that I thought Jordan should have won the MVP all those years. I said I thought he was the best player in the league. They gave it to Charles Barkley. Why? They gave it to Charles Barkley because he was on the best team in the league, and they didn't want to vote for Jordan again. The same reason why they gave it to Karl Malone with the Utah Jazz.
I think
they actually got that. They actually got that.
Yeah, I think it's all the way around.
Malone should have won it in '98. Jordan should have won it in '97.
But the problem with the MVP race is that I think what's happening is that y'all just using which is fine, like standards and metrics and how the MVP was determined years ago. The reason why it's goalpost moving to a degree, but I think it's just a better accurate representation of who actually is the most valuable player because there's way more information that is disposable to us to make that assessment. Making those arguments back in the day made sense because there wasn't that much open dialogue. There wasn't that many games watched. There wasn't that many metrics to determine it. Which all watched were either highlights or individual matchups here and there. So it makes sense that you care that much about matchups because that's what you grew up knowing. It makes sense that you care that much about winning because that's what they did. Yeah, but you didn't watch 82 like everybody can right now.
I watched a ton of basketball games.
You did not watch 82 games of basketball of any team unless you lived in that city like you can now. You just did not. We don't have to lie about that. You did not watch 82 games of a team like you can now unless you live in that.
No, I'm not going to lie. No, wait. No, I'm not.
50 games of a team and you watch 82, that makes you more credible?
I can watch 82 of every single last team. You cannot watch 82 of every single last team.
No. Who does?
I'm not saying I'm actually doing. I'm saying it's way more accessible now than it was back then. I don't know why we're arguing. This is a fact. It's more accessible now than it was back then. That's just a fact.
But I mean, the way y'all presented is like we wasn't watching nothing. You said highlights.
I never said that.
No, you said highlights. Y'all watched highlights. I heard you just say.
Yeah, y'all did. Y'all did watch highlights.
Oh, we watched games. We watch games.
Did you not watch highlights though?
Well, you do too. You watch ESPN. You watch YouTube.
I do not watch ESPN. No, I do not.
So you don't watch. Hold on. You don't watch any highlights in any game. None.
No, I watch the games. I can just watch them.
Oh, answer my question, young man.
I do not watch highlights. I watch the game unless I'm editing a video and I might get some highlights. But I do not watch highlights of the game.
That's the first.
I watch the game. I can just watch.
But did you watch games or did you watch highlights back in the day?
No, I was in front of.
You can watch. I just said there was more accessible now. There's more games being watched now.
The way you present it, we wasn't watching games at all. It was more highlights than games. That's not
more. Well, I mean, depending on where you lived. If you didn't live in Atlanta, how many games of Atlanta basketball could you have watched?
Well, if you don't live in Atlanta, you give a shit about Atlanta. You just watch it.
Okay, so that's my point. So my point is proven. If you
don't watch 82 Atlanta games, do you watch 82 Atlanta games?
I never said I did. I just said it's more accessible.
I understand that.
So what are we arguing?
Oh, listen. You're not listening to me. you're presenting the past like we didn't watch games. Like it was really.
How did you watch Dominique games?
Say it again.
How did you watch Dominique Wilkins games?
I didn't need to watch Dominique. I was living in a different era.
You're proving my point. You didn't watch him. What are we arguing about?
No, what are you arguing about?
What
I'm here.
Hey, Trey, hold on. No. How many Trae Young games have you watched this year?
Probably 45.
So that's
45.
I live in Atlanta though.
So that's half the season.
You can ask me
So that's half the season.
Yeah,
that's half the season.
But I'm talking about like, okay, how many Aaron Fox games have you watched?
Probably like 20 to 30.
20 to 30. So you spend your whole day just watching basketball, then, huh?
Basically,
that's a lot of time, Lo.
That's my job. It is. That's what it is.
I got you. All right. Okay. Everybody's job can't be sitting around and watch games all day.
For sure. I'm an anomaly, but
that's how you earn your money. You're in a different category. You're in a different category than most people.
Lo, that's why you be up here cooking everybody.
But my point, I guess. But my point is that there's still more games that are accessible now. So even to the media, whose job is to watch basketball games as well, they can make a much more accurate representation of who is the most valuable. So I understand where y'all coming from. Like back in the day, like players should have won it and they didn't win it, and it was a bunch of other stuff. But back then, it makes sense for them to make those mistakes because
somebody just exposed you.
You can watch now.
Somebody just exposed you, Lo. Read that, Ron. Somebody just came up and exposed Lo. Read that.
Lo is lying. He's been previously that he watched big games and catches highlights of lesser meaning games. When? What game? What less meaningful games I'm watching?
That's crazy. There.
What's less meaningful?
Y'all call it? That's nasty. I never heard anybody watch highlights. No.
Why would I watch? If I was intrigued about a game that I wanted to watch, I can just go to League Pass and watch the game.
No. I mean, I may not be intrigued about the game itself, but I may like just watching the highlights and see what happened. Like it's the two teams I don't necessarily want to sit down and watch them play 48 minutes. But I may like to watch the highlight. I've never heard of not watching any highlights.
I like, for example, I've never watched. I have not seen a single Jalen Green highlight. I've never seen a Jalen Green highlight, even though I'm semi-interested in them. But I refuse to watch highlights.
Do we have to get
Jalen Green? I'm not watching Houston. I'm not watching Houston. Hey, Detroit. I'm not watching Detroit.
Let me ask Kill and Dub something. Chilling Dub, who's y'all MVP?
Oh, man.
I had Giannis winning it before the season started. That's who I had winning it before the season started. And I think Joker, we got to understand, Ticket, what MVP is. It ain't the best player in the game. It's the guy
who's chill town. Don't do this, bro.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And the reason why I'm not doing it, and here's why I'm not doing it, Ticket, because you can't tell me that it's the best player on the best team. And then turn around.
You're sad, bro.
Here we go, Ticket.
You down with the shit too, Dub?
No, I'm not, Ticket, because this is what you do, Ticket. This is what you do. This is what you do, Ticket. What you're going to do, what you're going to do is you're going to tell me that's the best player on the best team, and then you're going to turn around and tell me that Steve Nash robbed Kobe Bryant of the league MVP in 2006. It doesn't work that way.
No, it
doesn't, Ticket.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm not saying that. You are a captain ass chill town. You are captain ass chill town. You are captain ass dude. You come on here and talk about
who's the most valuable to his team.
You come on here all the time talking about how much you value defense. You a liar, bro. You talking about how much you value two-way players. How much you value defense. And you have before dudes that don't play no defense. Cut it out, man.
I love two-way players. In fact, that's what I stand on. However, we're talking about a guy. What I'm saying is, who is the guy who's the most valuable to his team's success? So let's discuss Giannis for a second. Giannis is on a team with arguably the defensive player of the year. He's on a team with, I'm not done. He's on a team with arguably the defensive player of the year. He's on a team with arguably the best perimeter defender in the game. He's on a team with arguably the best rotation player in the game. So that right there, you have to question how valuable.
What rotation player?
Bobby Portis comes off the bench averaging a double-double. Ain't nobody else in the league doing that. That's number one. So now you have to question, well, how valuable is Giannis to his team's success? As opposed to when I think about Jokic, no all-league defenders, no all-NBA players, no all-stars. They're at the top of the Western Conference. Not only are they at the top of the Western Conference, they got the best record in the Western Conference, and that's powered.
Let's tell the truth. Hold on. Stop right there. Hold on. Stop right there.
So we're not talking about the best player. Because
That's easy to say. Hold on.
Giannis is the best player in the game. I stand on that.
No. That's easy to say. But if those guys were playing in the East, a couple of those guys would be all-stars. If they were playing in the East.
Who?
On the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, name them. Name who would be an all-star.
Gordon would have made the all-star team this year. And also, what you call it?
No.
Aaron Gordon would have made the all-star team this year. And Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray would have made a few all-star teams. He played in the East.
Over who?
Yeah,
over who? You can't just put them on the all-star team. Over who?
Over who? What are you talking about, bro? They would have made a couple all-star teams.
Aaron Gordon would be an all-star over who?
No, listen. I think he would have made an all-star team over. Let me see.
And we're talking about.
No.
We need this name.
Hold on.
Let's show this. Go ahead.
And we're talking about
the all-star in the West. Hold on. They were saying he was a Prince all-star in the West this year.
And we're talking about.
We're
turning this into something else. We're talking about this specific season ticket.
That's what I'm talking about this year.
I stand on the logic. I still think Giannis is the best player on the planet. And if we're going to go with the best team and the best player on that team, if that's the criteria, bet. But when we're talking about the most valuable player, sometimes the best player in the league wins it, but sometimes he doesn't because that other guy may be more valuable to his
team. So let me ask you a question, Chill Cam. So if you take Jokic out, you give Thomas Bryant those minutes. Thomas Bryant ain't doing the same thing he was doing with the Lakers.
I dare like to come right
now. Hold on.
Not Thomas Bryant.
So we're taking Joker off the unit, and we're going to put Thomas Bryant on the unit, and Thomas Bryant going to do the same thing with the Lakers, and Denver's going to be at the top of the Western Conference. Is that the logic?
I think he plugged out his mic. I think you plugged out your mic ticket.
Thomas Bryant playing instead of Jokic, that team falls off a cliff. That team falls off a cliff. And Aaron Gordon was not making an all-star team.
See if I can get ticket back.
You have to make it over Julius.
Here's the problem with a lot of tickets logic and why once more. But the point I was making is this is the reason I'm making this point is that we have like info to know like what the team looks like when Jokic is off the floor. We have that info. We don't have to play hypotheticals. Like we actually know what it looks like. We actually know
in the West.
Okay, so let me ask this question. So by your logic, Magic Johnson should have at most one MVP because he was not an elite defender. He was in a conference that stop, please
most
stop.
Years, I think Mike should have won. I think Mike should have won MVP most of all those years.
Well, Magic should only have at most one MVP. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Listen, I'm rocking with Mike. I'm talking about when he was playing in the league alongside Mike. I think Mike should have won the MVP damn near all those years. Matter of fact, y'all said that Carl should have won it. Y'all said Carl should have won it one year and Mike the other year. I disagree. I think Mike should have won it all of those years. I think Michael Jordan was literally
97 and 98. He should have won it all 3 of them years.
Listen, hold on, time out. Every year he should have won it. The same way these dudes will come here and tell you they think LeBron should have won it for every year for a stretch. Bro, Mike literally dominated the league. They just got only thing is they got tired of voting for him. Bro, listen, Giannis would have three MVPs. Hold on. Giannis would have 3 MVPs if Ferguson and them didn't go on TV and say we can't vote for him no more because he didn't win a championship. That's what they said.